So, Seeker Chronicles. It is by, oh boy, these names: Fulvio Flamini, Hendrik Poulsen Nutrip, and Leah M. Trenkwalder. I apologize. All of those were terrible pronunciations by me, but this is a Wise Wizards game. We've got a great relationship with them. They've given us so many review copies throughout it. And the first thing I want to say about this game is it's such a unique theme. You are two scientists battling each other through your research. The person that wins is the person that comes up with a hypothesis, tests it, and reaches their conclusion. So what you're doing is you are using scientists and their powers to go through, and based on their strength versus the other one's strength, you will archive cards to a pile. And if you go through your deck of 30 cards, you flip it over, and that's one towards, you have to do that 3 more times. They have different abilities, and every turn you can put one card down that will function as mana. I'm always going to reply. That was my first battling game, my TCG. This is more of a LCG, limited card game.
Yep.
So it's only a 2-person game. It's 20 to 40 minutes. It is its complexity is up there. It's saying at 2.5, and I'd agree. It is a little bit more complex and trying to get it down and stuff. So you get 3 of 6 famous scientists. There's Hawking and Isaac Newton, and I forget the other ones, but I think that they may even have some others. It's only a $15 MSRP, so it's a pretty small game, pretty inexpensive, but I think it packs a lot to it.
Yeah.
And it's got these other mechanics that once you can kind of like manipulate your opponent's board, your board. If your Seeker gets up to a base level of 7 for their strength, you can bring out another one. They have their own abilities. I really liked the whole theory of it is like you're going through and you're attaching like these theories and strengths to everything. You can play it when you're out. It's a kind of more compact game. The artwork is very, very pretty, and there's iconography so that you can sort it all out. There's times where you can steal your opponent's cards. I've not really played many other games like this. I do give them a lot of credit for coming out of the box and thinking up something different. If you're somebody that's into science, this will probably even hit even harder because you can look at it and be like, oh, I think one of them's like Hawking's theory of black holes. Or it only came out last year, so it's a fairly recent game. And Stephen Hawking's power, when it hits, is just busted. Like, I can't even fully remember it, but I know that you got it, and we're like, are we doing this right? Because you beat me in like, I had not even got through my first 30 cards yet, and you had like easily ran away and were like done. I'm like, okay, I guess Hawking's just good. But then we played it another time, and like it didn't come up, so we weren't sure if he's just hands down better. But it was just crazy when his thing came up.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like each card you can see they have powers in it, and then they have a cost that you have to pay to play it. And some of them are free, and you can just play them automatically. They have these things called Link and Hyperlink. So Link, you have to like put it down first, and then once it's in the field of play, then you can attach it to one of your scientists. Hyperlink is you can play it from your hand directly, but you have to pay more. And like Gary said, you can have them out in play, and you can turn them or whatever you want to call them, and you can use them to pay the cost. So if something costs 1 and you have a card out in play, you turn it, you cost 1, you attach the other one. And then this increases your strength, and it's a lane battler, so you're directly competing with the scientist across from you. And once your power, like he said, hits 7, you can take out another one, and you can have up to 3 out. And what you do is every turn, like he said, you're working on your hypothesis and things like that. So to archive, you're just comparing notes. So like my strength would be 3, his would be 0. Okay, I'm going to archive 3 cards, 3 out of my 30, and then it will continue to work through that deck. And it was cool because, well, especially because first game we played, I had Hawking, and Hawking had a card that reduced the cost of something by 3. And then they had this super powerful card that I think increased his strength to 6 for free if I had that other card. And then I was like, okay, so this is a great combo. This is interesting. Other decks might have that combo too. We played this game several times. None of the other scientists that we found and we swap scientists. They gave you a suggestion of what 3 scientists to play together. We even tried mixing them up on top of that, and we could not find anyone that was as powerful as that combo. And it seemed like that combo was built in specifically for that card. Like, and I think even with that combo, the 6 strength doubled when you initially attach it too. So you have like a 12 power guy in 2 turns when, most other scientists were only at like 4, if that. So then you're throwing away 8 of your 30 cards, gives you a huge jump, and there's really no catch up mechanic after that. Because once you're at that strength, you can continue to keep building up over and over again, and it's hard for the other person to catch up. And again, this plays sort of like Magic or another collectible or TCG game. And yeah, if you have a deck that is built to be better, then yeah, you have a deck that's built to be better. But the problem is, we didn't build these decks. These are decks that the creators built, and you can't really mix and match cards and build your own deck. So it's like, well, yeah, that's a great combo, but where's a great combo in another scientist deck? And yes, they had cool different ways, like his obviously was to get stuff on there for cheaper. Then we had people that was able to steal other people's ideas, which I thought was interesting as well. There was cards that let you go into your discard pile and bring them back. So they had different powers, but it just did not seem as good as that combo. Other than that, I like it because I loved Magic. I missed playing Magic. I stopped it because it got way too expensive, and I thought this was cool because I was like, hey, you get 6 different scientists. You can mix and match with 6 different decks. I would assume that they're going to continue with building more decks and with more scientists if it's a possibility, because it just makes sense. Like, all you need is another scientist and another 30 cards that works in this. I don't know if that's the plan, but if it is, that would be something that would be interesting. But I think they just need to maybe double check some of the math or whatever and just see why that combo for Stephen Hawking was so strong. And I wouldn't say like, yeah, okay, you got 2 perfect cards that work together. That happens in Magic too. But there were, I think, 2 or 3 of the cards that make things cost for free. And something that we didn't mention, every scientist, if you start out with it, starts with their like main hypothesis or main idea in your hand. That 6 power card was in my hand when I had Stephen Hawking. So it automatically was ready to go. All I was doing is searching for that card to make it free. So that was my only concern. Other than that, I liked the game. I thought it was great. It played quickly. Like Gary said, it's a lane battler, but it's a different type of lane battler that gave you that Magic the Gathering feeling. And again, didn't take up a lot of table space. If someone knows Magic the Gathering, they're going to pick up this game really quickly. If they don't, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for them. So it's a play for me. I would definitely play this again. We almost house ruled it that we don't start off with Hawking ever, and that's how we played it since then. And I think it was a little more fair after we did that. But other than that, I would play it. But I think the biggest issue with buying it is, I think if someone bought it and then realized Hawking was like so good, then they would just constantly do that. Like, I feel like that might be the thing, and people would take advantage of that. Other than that, I think it's great. But again, you did say it was cheap, so maybe it's teetering
on Amazon.
Oh, well then, honestly, for $10, I would buy. I mean, I would buy that just to do it, especially if they start like releasing like a Neil Tyson, deck with his, cards or anything. I think it could be really cool if they continue with it. Maybe again, Magic does it a lot. Maybe you freaking, oh, that's not a legal card anymore. Or I've seen, what was it? Actually, Graft actually had it where we opened up the box and it was, hey, actually take this card out and replace it with this card because this card doesn't work anymore or whatever. It just didn't work with the card mechanics. And I think they could do the same thing with Seekers. Hey, by the way, we're going to just downgrade that card, maybe to a 6 to a 5 or a 4 even. And I think that might actually just completely open up the game. But yeah, so honestly, for $10, I would buy it for $10. I'd get enough joy out of it and just house rule. Yeah, you don't start off with Stephen Hawking. But
Yeah,
what about you?
It's a play for me. For $10, I'd say that it's a buy. It could be a buy for a lot of people, but I think it also has a good niche. And like, if you've played Magic but you don't want to keep up with all of the metas and everything, it's a fun thing to have every once in a while. Just take it out, play a game of Magic.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. It is your Magic replacement game, or Yu-Gi-Oh replacement,
Right.
or
Whatever
Pokemon.
TCG, it'll replace. It'll scratch that itch, and you're not going to have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars. You can just have this and be like, hey, let's play a couple games of Seekers.
Although it would be funny if like they continue to release cards and then they become popular. It's like, oh, you got a Neil Tyson DeGrassi? Oh my god! You got the Stephen Hawking? Oh my god!
Well,
I can't think of any
it
other
came out in
scientists.
2024, and the official Links website for Board Games Geek is 404 page not found. So I don't think they are.
Dang, maybe. Well, hey, maybe enough people will see this review and pick this game up because it is cool. It would be awesome if they have like a Bill Nye the Science Guy deck or whatever.
You get 1 point for each time you chant Bill before your opponent does. Bill,
Yeah.
Bill.
But yeah, so I mean, for $10, I would buy it. I think it's a solid, quick lane battler.
Definitely.
There are better lane battlers out there, I will say, but
for
this gives me that
and
magic
time
feel.
and everything. I agree that it's a good game.